All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's NIA Daily Dose. Thank you to Scott and Dan and Denise for putting this on for our community. I appreciate you all for all of the support you're giving the small business community during this time of uncertainty. So today, my name's Toni Harris-Taylor. I'm a franchise owner in the Houston area. Kingwood, Humble, Atascocita, and Greater East Montgomery are my groups. I have been a franchise owner for 6 whole months. And I will tell you that becoming a franchise owner for NIA has changed my life. And I know it has changed other people's lives as well as a result of associating either as a member or as a franchise owner. So I'm going to talk to you today about using LinkedIn. So my background, I'm a sales and marketing coach, and I've had my own business as a sales and marketing coach since 2012. But I've been an entrepreneur for over 28 years in sales roles, commission-only roles, for over 28 years. Now, I know you look at me and you say, how is it possible that a 30-year-old can own a business or be an entrepreneur for 28 years? I know you say that, right, Melanie? So my son, who's 31 now, just turned 31 2 weeks ago, said, Mom, you gotta stop saying you're 30. Son, as long as people think I'm your girlfriend, no, I do not. So I still say I am 30 years old and been in business 28 years. The lemonade stand counted. But seriously, connecting with people, networking is what I do. And in 2008, right before the world went this way, I was at an AIG company, and the manager said to me, you need to set up a LinkedIn profile. And at that point, I didn't want anything to do with social media. I don't want to do social media. I don't want to share my business with people, not even realizing I had control of that. But anyway, she said, we're getting ready to go on winter break. I need you to set up your LinkedIn. And while you're at it, set up Facebook. And I did, because I'm up for a challenge. I always talk about taking drastic steps. I said, okay, I'll do it. I set up my LinkedIn profile, and 2 months later, I got laid off from that job. And so I said, did she know that was coming? Did she know I needed LinkedIn? Well, since then, I've decided I embrace social media to the fullest, and I have used social media to grow my businesses internationally. And LinkedIn is just one of those tools. And there's always something new you can learn. But today, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of things you can do to get your profile where people, it's your first impression online, where people will say, hey, I think I need to know a little bit more about that person. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get started. Now, Daniela's taking chat questions, so please chat any questions you have. I will open it up for live questions as well and comments. And I would love feedback, because I'm not the end all be all on LinkedIn by any stretch of the imagination, but I know how it's worked to help me grow my business. And I just want to make sure most of you all have the basic knowledge that you need in order to use it to grow your business. So this is a typical profile. This is mine. So first thing I want to advise you is to put some good pictures on your profile. That blue standard background, no cover photo, the constellation looking thing, yeah, that's no bueno. So I hope you all have something to take notes with as well. You need to put in a cover photo that represents who you are and what you stand for. And my whole brand is around taking drastic steps in marketing, networking, connecting with people. So I put up a cover photo and my own quote Yes, that's my quote. Yes, you have permission to make up your own quotes, by the way. Successful people take drastic steps, period. I put a background with some steps and put the cover photo in. I created that in Canva. Canva is a program that you can use to do graphics, and they have preset templates that allow you to just fill in the template with what you want, and it'll be sized perfectly for your background. Because sometimes just taking your logo and putting it in the background, it won't fit. It'll be too big, too small. So go to a program like Canva that has, and it's free, there's a free version that has the preset templates for you. Next thing is you need a good headshot. And I'm often surprised. It seems like it should be like a duh moment, but I'm very surprised when a lot of professional people using selfies for their headshot, using inappropriate, and also using their logo. So here's the deal. This software is designed for relationships. And I can't build a relationship with your logo. I need to see your face. And so get yourself a professional headshot. And if you don't have one today, just put in something that represents who you are. But please, 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 as soon as we can, get yourself a professional photo and put it in your profile. Again, seems like a dumb moment, but I see a lot of profiles with icky headshot pictures or profile pictures. And then this morning I was on one that had none. And I promise you, if you try to connect with me and yet don't have any picture there, I'm definitely not connecting with you. I actually tried to connect with someone today and there was no profile picture there. And they're in business for themselves. And I don't understand it. Of course, your name there, but your headline. This is a very important piece of your profile. The headline is to call attention to who you are and what you do. Give it some life. Don't just put realtor, right? But my client Carol is on the line. I help, she specializes in leasing. So I help people who aren't ready to buy to get into a home through leasing. And put your phone number in there. Yes, they could go to your contact info here, but put a phone number there so it's front and center. Because what happens is when you go to look at someone's profile, and I'm going to bring that over here. When you look at someone's profile, it actually puts their title. When you go into activity, it actually puts their title. What's in the headline shows up right below their name. I don't know if you guys were realizing that. So see my friend Carl Loop. So I can see with his name what he does. Put something in there that calls attention. And this says health insurance advisor. Again, another boring title. Melanie, give me something that has some oomph to it that makes me say, So mine says I help entrepreneurs. Let me go back to it. I help entrepreneurs get known, get connected, and get paid. And I improve productivity, people, and profits. There's my phone number. Now, the first part, the most important part, is the first few words. So make sure the part you want them to see right away is at the front of your headline. Okay. Now, over here, it has my current work experience and my schooling. And then down here is my about section. So, and because I'm in edit mode, I am not seeing it as if I am I'm seeing it in edit mode. But I want to take a look at my about. Your about section is where people go to learn more about who you are and what you do. What I normally see here is a quick little paragraph, no thought or energy in it. I see bulleted list, which are more reserved for the work experience section, which I'll get to in a minute. So use this as your marketing. This is your way to market who you are and try to establish a virtual relationship with people. And mine is long, and I get it. I've used every character in the profile that I could, in the summary that I could. So under about, it says, and I'm gonna read it because I want you to get the energy of my summary. Now yours does not have to be as long as mine, but also don't look like you took the lazy way out and that you gave no thought to the about section. So who is Toni Harris Taylor? I'm glad you asked. I was recently asked, what's your why? After pondering the question, I stated, my why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to be greater than they were before they met me. I'm a connector and a resource. I love helping my clients build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. Yep, that's me. I help my clients to get out of their comfort zone to take drastic steps. The word drastic is not only a mindset, but it's an action word. I believe that no one is successful without taking drastic steps, and I'm honored to help my clients to be drastic. The first way I help my clients to get drastic is to teach them how to network. Give them a place to network and coach them to get known, get connected so they can get paid. I am a community builder with Network in Action, Northeast Houston, Humboldt, Kingwood, and Atascocita. NIA is a lead generation organization that helps its members to build relationships to create more warm referrals. As a certified networker, many of my colleagues call me the Queen of Networking. I love meeting new people and helping to facilitate connections that will help them to thrive. Learn more at my website. I'm also a passionate speaker, trainer, facilitator, and coach. My company, Drastic Results Training Solutions, helps corporate businesses, 250 to 200 employees, and governmental entities to improve people, productivity, and profits one class at a time. We have trainers in all disciplines and can work with one department or the entire company. Our favorite clients are the ones who want to help their employees learn more about themselves and others using the Everything Disc methodology to create better teams, sell more, lead better. I love the aha moments that facilitating these trainings brings. Check me out at the website. On a personal note, I've overcome many obstacles, including being a two-time widow and coming back from near death after spending 10 days in a coma. I am remarried to Gary for 3 years, a mother to Garrett and Morgan, a stepmother to Talicia, Tavion, and Gary. I'm a grandmother to 7, 5 boys, 2 girls, and a fur baby named Blue. My husband and I love to travel. I've been to 48 states. Please invite me to Wyoming and South Dakota. And I love Canada, especially Whistler, BC. The dance floor is my happy place and I love to read. If I sound interesting to you, let's talk. Schedule an appointment with meetwithtoniharristaylor.com or call me. I get a lot of comments on my profile. Is it long? I get it. It is. But I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and ask me answer this question. Tell me what you like about it, and then tell me, by sharing this information, how do you feel?
I personally feel like I've already started to get to know you. I feel like it's a very warm introduction to you, Toni.
Thank you,
Yeah, I think it's a great introduction to you. I guess my thought is, do most people have the attention span for something so long? I think we've been told, or at least I've been told over and over again, to keep things sort of as short and sweet as possible. And so
that is, people say that all the time. Here's my point. Here's what I think. It is long. I get it. But when people read it, if they're genuinely interested in me, it took me maybe 2 minutes to read it. If you can't give me 2 minutes and you're not genuine, you can't give me 2 minutes, you're not interested. And you can stop at any point, but it's not because I didn't give you what you need to make the connection. What I see with a lot of profiles, Melanie, thank you for your feedback, is people just don't, it looks like they just took the shortcut, lazy way and gave no thought to what they're putting out there. And that's my point. It doesn't have to be this long, but please, y'all, don't take the short, lazy way. Have a conversation. Some more feedback. Thank you, Melanie and Daniel.
This is Kimberly. I think what I'm getting from your about section is that it doesn't have to be as long as yours, as long as it's relatable, as long as people can relate to you and be drawn to whatever it is you've put in that section. So I think, you know, to your point, it doesn't have to be that long, but if people can connect to what it is you're saying, because what we know in business is that more often than not, people buy you more so than the product.
Absolutely.
And also they want to feel like, you know, the short way of saying it is that relationships rule.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kimberly. And so I give them what they need to say. Now, I'm also not a private person, and I know some of you private people out there are cringing. I would never tell people. I spent 10 days in a coma, but I want them to know I am a comeback kind of person. I want them to know that I am real. I'm a 2-time widow. I've been through a lot, but I still am standing, and I'm still motivated to help them in their business. So that's the summary. Thank y'all for your feedback. You
Hey,
could go ahead.
Toni.
Yes.
Hey, this is Tish. I also wanted to say that utilizing all those characters and having business keywords in your profile or in your About Us section helps you to get pulled by, you know, when people are searching for certain things on Google, it allows you to have those keywords show up. So utilizing all the words and putting more, you know, the business things that you have in there is important as well.
That's awesome, Tish. Thank you. I forgot about that. So awesome. All right, so let's move on. That's the About section. Now, I have some featured posts. I have some videos in my post, and so my videos are here. This is a Goldcast video. So that video was picked up by Goldcast, and it has over almost 30,000 views on YouTube, 5.5 million views on Facebook. Now, I'm not getting paid for that, so that's a whole nother story. But why would I not feature that in my LinkedIn profile? So if you have videos for your company, commercials, 30-second commercials, any personal videos, even some of your lives, you can use the featured section to take a look at those, put those in your profile so that people can see them. Now, because we're in my back office, I see 429 people have viewed my profile. I do not have the paid version, so I'm not able to see all the people who have looked at my profile, but I could go and look at their profile, look at the people it will show me, and then I can connect with those people, say, what you doing looking at my profile? Are you stalking me? No, I'm just kidding. Go find the commonalities between you, and then go and look at the, go and connect with that person and connect with them personally. We're going to talk about how to connect. Here's my activities. So I have 3,900 followers. And then here are some of the posts that I have commented or shared or posted. And I can look at see all and see those things. What am I posting on? I'm posting on good sales and marketing content. I posted today my daily dose. Every day I'm posting something. I have Motivational Monday. I have Tip Tuesday, Welcome Wednesday for my new NIA members, Thankful Thursday, and then Feature Friday, where again I feature my NIA members. So those are some of my activities. Here's my experience. And then this is where the resume type language goes. This is where you can say, you know, I'm an accountant and I've worked with all of these clients, and whatever your resume type language is, you can put that in the experience section. You can reorder them by just using this to click and drag and put them in different order. And then, and so I put my current certification, I put that I'm a board member with an organization, and then I have more experience here. For experience, your choice. I went back 10 years. Some of it goes back further as time goes on, but I went back 10 years with my experience to showcase, but everything is, and again, I don't skimp on the words too much here either. So my NI, my current stuff, I want them to know a little bit about who it is. And it's not like you got to go tweak it multiple times. So again, I'm just saying, don't take the lazy way out. All right.
Hey, Toni.
Yes.
Well, we've reached 100 participants right now, so good for you. And I do want to say the chat is kind of lit up right now. So there were some questions here that I thought we could get to.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So Oscar asked, can you have multiple LinkedIn accounts for multiple businesses, or should you combine them?
Well, I have one. I don't have time to keep up with multiple accounts, Oscar. That's number one answer. And again, I run two businesses out of this LinkedIn. I run my NIA and my Drastic Results Training Solutions. I run two of them out of one account. It really depends on the businesses and if there's any overlap or not. But honestly, if you can't maintain one account, I would say put it all in one. And like I did with my summary, I made the distinction between the two business, first way, second way.
Okay, and then we have one from Agofand. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. They say, I own a business, but I am really a one-person show, a freelancer. Do I focus on a business profile or my personal profile?
So I don't use a business profile in LinkedIn. They don't seem to get any traction. So I do everything on personal, especially again, if people are doing business with you based on relationship. It's not, how many times do we actually actively go search out a business profile? I would guess not often, but we search for people every day. So again, if you are your business, use the personal profile.
That's all as far as questions for now. We got a lot of good feedback. Oh, and how do you tell if you are set up as a business or a person? I believe by default that is.
Yeah, so this is a personal profile. A business profile, if I go and look at network in action, I think we have a company profile set up. So this is a company profile. Okay, so this is the company profile, and how you can tell is it actually looks like, it almost looks like a Facebook business profile as well, but it's got home, about, jobs, people, etc. Okay, so again, if you're a one-man person or a very small micro business, your personal profile, if you're the salesperson, if you're the everything in your business, then use your personal. Scott is a bigger business. So Network in Action now has franchise all over the country. It's appropriate for him to still have a business company page. And he's driving people, all of us are driving people to the company page. But for me, me by myself, I'm still a personal page. Okay, very good. All right, let's go back to the profile. Now, we've got through the profile. Oh, so let's go down to licenses. Make sure you fill those in. Skills and endorsements. Now, people ask me, does endorsements weigh more than recommendations? For me, endorsements are kind of like, now that's for me. So because endorsements just say, can Toni speak? Yes. Is Toni a leader? Yes. Is Toni a networker? These are things I put on my profile and people just say, yes, 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 yes. To me, it means it's not that big of a deal. But recommendations are everything. And I'm really shocked how many people do not take advantage of recommendations. This is like your Google reviews on LinkedIn. So your homework is to get 10 new recommendations. How do you get recommendations? You have to ask for them. And so when you ask for them, then you can say, hey, I would love for you to recommend me regarding, in fact, I'm going to ask for one now. So I'm going to ask for a recommendation. And so I'm going to ask Scott Talley. I think I would have done this by now.
I'm ready.
And, then I'm going to, we have worked together as under NIA, so I don't need to mark any of this other stuff. Okay. And he managed me directly. We're not in a manager role, but we'll go with that. So he managed me directly. I'm working from home, y'all. I got a lot of perils of working from home in the background, in case y'all hear it. So I'm going to say, Scott, could you write me a recommendation? I could leave it at that, and he would probably do it. But I want to be specific. Scott, could you write me a recommendation on my networking ability and working with me as a franchisee? In return, I would love to give you a recommendation as well. Thank you. Love you, man. Right? And so I'm sending that to him. Oh, look at this. I've already asked him for it. He just hadn't done it yet. So, Mr. Please send me a recommendation. So that's why you got to ask for 20, because people are busy. They miss it. They don't see it. So what you want to do is send out 20 requests for recommendation, offer to refer them back, and then you'll get 10. Okay. So I've already sent him one. So Scott, when you get a chance, help a sister out and put a recommendation. So I have 49 that I received. You will be number 50, sir, a milestone. My friend Tish Times, who just spoke on the call here, she wrote me a glowing recommendation. Tish, please send me one, and unless I've already recommended you, please send me one back so I can get you a recommendation. So your homework today is to get 10 recommendations from your clients, your colleagues, people who've managed you in the past, people who are your clients, right? So this is, and I don't put these words in their mouth. So endorsements is, yeah, Toni says she's a networker, check, yeah, she is. Toni says she's a leader, check, yes, she is. Recommendations are words from the horse's mouth. Any questions or comments on the power of recommendations?
Cheryl Powell asked, how do you recommend asking recommendations as a realtor? How would you return the recommendation to the person that sent it?
Okay, so as a realtor, you can certainly ask for recommendations. If your clients are on LinkedIn, you just say, hey, same thing I just did. Please send me a recommendation based on our working experience as me as your realtor. You can comment on and sometimes you have to lead people with the recommendation in testimonials. So you can comment on my responsiveness, my negotiation skills, my marketing skills of your home. So you just ask them. If they're on LinkedIn, you kind of lead them with where you want them to go. And then the second part was, how would you return the if they care, because a lot of people don't care about receiving recommendations, but you would just say to them, I'd love to recommend you in return, and just say, I had the pleasure of working with Toni as a realtor, and I had the pleasure of selling her home. And although it was a personal transaction, her timeliness, her attention to detail, her this, her that, translates to this is who she is probably in business as well. So I would highly recommend her because she's conscientious, not only on her personal matters, but also on business. I just made that up, Cheryl. I hope you like it. Scott Engler, may I share something regarding this that's been highly effective for me in training? Sure, Scott, unmute yourself.
All right, so yeah,
Uh-oh. I think
really my experience is I found that most of my clients over the years, they wanted to give me recommendations, but for whatever reason, time a lot of them, you know, I guess like I don't understand the fear. They're afraid of their writing skills too. There's a whole lot of reasons why they didn't do it, but I knew that they wanted to. So what's worked really well for me in the past, especially if it's like an ongoing client, when I do like a monthly or quarterly review, I'll just take notes. And so I'll be like, okay, you know, Shelly, you mentioned in our review that you love X, Y, and Z about our work together. I'm going to just copy and paste this and send it to you. Please feel free to edit and put it in your own words. And then so that way they literally have that thing. And if you look at the LinkedIn platform, I'm just trying to like use my hands, but if you look at the platform, it makes it so easy for them to just like make any minute updates or just click send. It's such an easy process. I've gotten countless recommendations that way. So I just want to share that.
That's a great idea. So Carol just asked, can she submit past recommendations of her? So Carol, that's what you would do. You would copy and paste it from your her profile, put it in the request for recommendation, and then ask them to edit it any way they feel and repost it to LinkedIn. Thank you, Scott Engler. That was awesome.
My pleasure. I'm going to mute myself now.
Thank you for joining us too. I met Scott on LinkedIn. Scott was referred to me by somebody through LinkedIn, and I invited him to come on the call today, and here he is. So
Toni, real quick, I don't know if anyone's, I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to solicit, but it's a free panel I'm going to be on in 2 weeks for job seekers. I got asked to, so there's 4 of us here in Houston, and we're doing it on Zoom. So if anyone, you know, I could always share it with you to pass on to people here, but it's a free event. I'm going to be one of the panelists sharing how to use LinkedIn for job searching. So
awesome. Thank you. And yes, the more we can share with our network, the better. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So recommendations, let's get some. All right, next thing I want to go to. So that's your profile. That's as deep as I'm going to go into the profile. Now, how do you connect with people? Now, if you are like me, you hate cold calling. Anybody? Right, hands up, hands in the air. I hate cold calling. Scott recommends I do cold calling, and I'm just like, no, I cannot. So, but I got all these people in LinkedIn. That's why I don't do it. I have business cards all over my desk. So how do you connect with people? How do you take those business cards that you met in person and take it to an online relationship? Or if you're part of an organization, like I'm a part of the Greater East Montgomery Chamber, I'm a new member there, really enjoying it until we recently got shut down, but really enjoying it. And my mission is to build my group through relationships that I find through the chamber. So while we have some downtime, thank you, Jamise. I just got your recommendation for your request for a recommendation, or no, you and Scott both got me recommendations. Thank y'all. All right. Thank y'all.
I was number 50. I was number 50.
I'll accept yours, sir, first. I will accept yours first. Thank you, Jamise. Love you. All right. So, made me forget my thought. Okay. So now instead of making cold calls, what I'm doing is I'm going to the website. So I went to the Greater East Montgomery County website. Some of you are part of organizations you have not connected with the members yet. So I went to the directory. I'm looking for a financial professional for my group, my new group that's forming out there. So I found this gentleman, Jace Petrie. This is real time, y'all. So now I don't know Jace. We've met each other in passing, but I don't know him. And so I went over to LinkedIn and I searched him out. Okay. Now I want to connect with Jace. You know how on LinkedIn it comes up with you should connect with these people, and you just go through and you connect with those people. Well, when you do that, it doesn't allow you to put a personal note. So don't connect with people without a personal note. Go to their profile. So you can just click on their name when it comes up. You should connect with this person. Click on their name. It brings you to their profile. He's in Kingwood. I want to connect. So I'm going to click connect, and I'm going to add a note. So I'm going to say, hi, Jace. I know you are a member of Greater East Montgomery Chamber, and so am I. and so am I. In fact, you came on my coffee group last week. We should have a Zoom one-to-one during this time to get acquainted. Would you like to connect? If so, I'm going to make this easy because I don't really have a lot of time to go back and forth, back and forth. So I make it easy. If so, please go to Meet with Toni, www.meetwithtonyharristaylor.com. I use technology to the full, y'all, and choose a 30-minute get to know you. Talk soon. Again, I use every character, okay? Because I don't have time for the back and forth. I know you're a member of Greater East Montgomery Chamber, and so am I. In fact, you came on my coffee group last week. We should have a one-to-one Zoom during this time to get acquainted. Would you like to connect? If so, please go to www.meetwithtonyharristaylor.com, choose a 30-minute get to know you. It's all my get to, that link has book an appointment. It has the Zoom link already attached. It's attached to my Google Calendar. He finds a time and he picks the time that works for him. And I'll accept the time and then keep it moving. And we'll see each other on Zoom soon. Or not. He may not even use LinkedIn that much. He may not see it, right? If I really want to connect with him, I'll ping him again, right? But basically, I have it all set up to use the technology to be able to connect, be able to ask for the appointment. I didn't ask him, do you want to join NIA? I got this great networking group. Here's our 6 differences, blah, blah. I don't want to do all that. I could, but I don't want to do all that. I just want to connect. I'm not selling anything. So, and I'm making it easy for him to connect so we don't have to go back and forth. Tuesday work? No, Tuesday doesn't work. Thursday work? No. Go to my calendar, find a time, done. All right, now this is what I was talking about here, where it says people you may know, connect, connect, connect. I can't send a personal message. So Martin Seika, I would click on his name. I actually happen to know Martin, but I haven't seen him in 5 years. It's time for us to connect. So later on, I'm gonna go send him a message, say, hey buddy, it's time for us to catch up. Go find a time on Zoom, and I will introduce him to NIA because he's in the Valley. He needs to be a franchise owner. That's how it works. Okay, questions on connecting with people.
Julie wanted to know what platform you use to set one-to-one appointments with.
So I use Visita, VCITA, but there's Calendarly, there's Time Trade, there's a whole bunch of calendars out there. I use Visita because it also connects to my website and all of that. So I don't use Calendly. I can never say that. Then I bought a URL. So I'm the queen of vanity domains. That's how when I met Scott, I had Zoom with Toni. He said, that's so cool. I'm going to do Zoom with NIA. So there's another tip. You can buy a vanity URL and redirect it to whatever you want. So I bought meetwithtonyharristaylor.com, redirect the vanity to the link for setting up my calendar. And if any of you want to meet with me one-to-one, I'm all about the one-to-one. So please go to Meet with Toni Harris Taylor and schedule a 30-minute connect call. Andre sent me a recommendation. Thank you, brother. I met Andre through LinkedIn. I'm going to show you how I got Andre. So I'm going to go to Andre. I hope you don't mind. Thank you, sir.
You're
Andre
welcome.
is in my group. He is healthcare. He and Melanie. Let me tell you about the power of this. So I'm going to go to messaging. I'm going to open up Andre's messages from back in the day. Now, I actually use the automated tool to connect with Andre. I have someone in my network in India who uses automation. And so he sent out this automated message, but it doesn't look automated. My name is Toni with Network in Action, Northeast Houston. I'm a connector. I love meeting go-getters. Would you be open to a quick connect call to learn about each other's businesses and hopefully pass referrals? I wanted him in my group, but I didn't know if he was right. I didn't know, so I just wanted to network. I got to get y'all to see that. Please don't sell. It's so important that it's about connecting with people. Then we sent it out twice. He responded, thanks for your message. I'd love to. What time tomorrow? Good afternoon. I don't know what was going on, but I didn't do the calendar with him. He said, sounds good. What's your number? We talked on the phone. Nice to speak to you today. I told him about another organization I'm on the board for, Women in Insurance and Financial Services. You should come. It was a Monday. He came on Wednesday. He fell in love with me. I tried to give him to Helen. He was like, no, I'm coming with you. He was like, because he lives in Katy. He said, I'm coming with you. And we just connected. And then I said, come to my launch and learn. He showed up. Then January, that all started in December. He said, I'll be joining both groups. Okay, y'all see this?
Hi.
All from a LinkedIn message. He was a total stranger. And then Melanie, who's on this call, joined my group, referral from Andre, all from a LinkedIn message. I'll pause. Any questions or comments? Okay. All right. So it works, y'all. It works. But you got to start with building the relationship, right? So messaging, connecting through messaging is the second way to grow your network with LinkedIn. Okay. So now I'm gonna give you some bonus things. All right. And we'll see if Jace comes back, and mark my words, he'll be in one of my groups too. Okay. So if you have your LinkedIn app on your phone, open it up for me. So if you're if you're viewing this on your phone, this might be difficult, but I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to share a different screen. I'm going to do a new share. Okay. Can y'all see this QR code? So if you have LinkedIn on your phone, you can just, if you're in Zoom on your phone, just go ahead and run it in the background. All right. Open LinkedIn. Now, when we get back to live meetings, you can become the hit of the party of the networking by this simple tip. At the bottom of your, oh, you know what? Hold on one second, because I can do this. I can share my phone screen. Okay, are there any questions while I bring this up? All right. Okay. Hopefully I can share my phone screen. That'll make showing you easier. Okay. Phone screen. Now, what you're seeing on the screen in front of you, let me go ahead and tell you what that is. Open your LinkedIn. Okay, perfect. My LinkedIn screen is showing. All right, new share right there. So I have a phone app on Windows 10 that lets me mirror my phone on my computer. So can you all see that? Somebody unmute and tell me you can see my phone screen.
I believe that
We can see it. Yeah, we can see it.
Awesome. All right, and there's Katrina, another NIA franchise owner. So down at the bottom of your LinkedIn app on your phone, click on My Network. When you do that, Now this is for when you're at a live event. So live event, and I'll post these, hopefully we can get these notes somewhere, but you'll get the replay too. So when you're at a live event and there's 30 people in the room, you can go to My Network. Then you click the little plus, the man with the plus sign over on the right, like you're going to add somebody. Then you're going to do Find Nearby on the right-hand side, turn it on. When you turn it on, it won't work now because you're in the room by yourself, but it will, once everybody does that, they must have Bluetooth enabled. Once everybody does that, everybody will show up in a line on the screen, and you can connect. Okay? And you can connect with everybody in the room with their LinkedIn profile. Now, so what? That's great. That's beautiful. It's magical. People are like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Okay, hold on. Let's see, my phone stops, my screen stops sharing. Okay, so they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. But now what? What do? You go back to when you get home or the next day, you go back to your phone, you click on My Network, the people that you connected with recently show up at the top, and you go look at their profile and find something in common. Nice to meet you last night, or I didn't get to meet you last night, but we were in the same room and I want to connect with you and help you to grow. Would you be open to a one-to-one call? We run in the same circles, therefore, we must be all good people. But you can then dig deeper on your network. Okay, so it is awesome. All right, so I'm going to share again. Now, if you don't have LinkedIn on your phone, be sure you download it because you don't want to be left out when this fun starts to happen. So the other thing I want to show you, can you see my phone again?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. So the other thing I want to show you is in the upper right corner where search is, there's a little 4 dots. And that opens up the ability for you to scan someone's profile. So I got my scan code on the screen and I'll share it with you in a second, but it just scanned it and it should open my profile pretty quickly. Now, it may not open mine because I'm in my own, but if you click on my code across the top there's your QR code. So you could walk up to people and say, hey, let's go ahead and connect on LinkedIn. Instead of searching for their name, you be the coolest one at the party. Open up tell them to open up the 4 dots. Open up the 4 dots. Let me scan your QR code. They're going to say, what QR code? You're going to teach them something, scan with them, make a connection, set a date, and you're the coolest one at the networking event. So that's my bonus. So for you all, I'd like for you to go back to the scan window, and I'm getting ready to share my screen. And I want you to scan my QR code and connect with me. All right.
That was quick, Toni.
Is that not the coolest thing ever?
Quick. Yeah.
So I'm done with my speaking part. I want to take your questions, comments, thoughts, yada, yada.
I want to know how big your toy box was at home when you were little. You were one of those kids that had the biggest toy box.
And I was an early adopter of everything. So what do y'all want to say? What do you think?
Mark Lively has a good question. I was going to pick up on this. Any thoughts on Premium or Sales Navigator? I can speak to Sales Navigator a little bit, but why don't you go first?
So I'm about to buy Sales Navigator, but here's what I will say. If you haven't exhausted the relationships you already have, you got plenty of business cards on your desk. You got plenty of connections you haven't connected with. Probably all y'all haven't had your one-to-ones with the meetings, the people in your groups already. I wouldn't spend any money on that stuff until you've exhausted what's already there. But once you do, now what I will say, I'm going to buy Sales Navigator, and here's why. Franchisees, listen up. I just learned with Sales Navigator, you can drill down to a zip code within 10 miles or 20 mile, whatever mile radius you want. But you can't do that on the free version. So I am going to invest in Navigator because my geography is so targeted. I need to narrow these connections down to, because Houston's so vast. I need to narrow those connections down. What do you think?
Let me add something there if I can. They obviously incentivize you to buy the entire year. You can pay for it monthly. So I would say, based on your business and how much time you're going to have to work it, normally I'll pay a whole year for something and save the money. But with Sales Navigator, you may want to just go month to month and use it for about 3 months, depending again on your business, because you have to make it a discipline to where you go every day and you start with some goal, 20, 25, 40, whatever it's going to be, to reach out and message those people. So one of the nice things about Sales Navigator is that it does allow you, when a person reaches back out and connects, you can then download their data on a CSV file and get that data out of Sales Navigator, pop it into lookalike ads on Facebook. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. So that's what I like about Sales Navigator, but you may want to strategize and not buy the whole year up front. Usually they offer a free month for your first time and then pay monthly. So you might be able to get away with a month or two, 150, 160 bucks and have a real value.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. Love it. Other questions?
Well, I had something, Tony.
True.
Scott Marker here. Hey, 2 things. One, on Sales Navigator, just be careful because I'm pretty sure, because I use it for a little, like, free trial, and everything you connect with and get set up, if you stop using it, those connections are not in your regular LinkedIn. You lose them all. So
That's right.
Just let you know that. It's kind of like a separate little bucket for prospecting.
Yeah, you definitely want to export it before you end it. That's right.
Hey, Tony, I thought you'd mentioned somebody had showed you some ways to prospect on LinkedIn. Is that you that said that or not?
Yeah, so I have someone who has an automated way, like I connected with Andre and was able to make him my friend first and then my client. I do have someone who has automated. I don't want to talk about that here, but if you want to talk about it offline, it's not my system, it's somebody else's system, but it has been, it's actually been pretty valuable. The problem is he generates so many leads for you, you need a full-time LinkedIn person to follow up with them. And that's a great problem to have, but so call me Scott, we can talk about it.
Okay, thanks.
The other thing I wanted to add, I think it's a lot like networking. The mistake I see people make, and this is probably doesn't have to be said, but just sort of watch the messages that come into you as a member of LinkedIn, and you'll find the ones that are sort of offensive to you. But you should always be offering help and assistance and building the relationship first before you ask for something other than just a meeting. I see people, it just makes the hair on my neck stand up when I get my first contact with somebody, they're already trying to sell me something. I wouldn't do that in a traditional networking group, and you don't want to do it on LinkedIn. So part of the strategy would be to send, once you connect with somebody, send them 2 or 3 messages or articles or something that's helpful for their business. Let's say there's a business coach and you come across an article about how business coaches should all be making 6 figures. Well, send them the article, just, hey, I thought you might want to read this. And then after 2 or 3 of those kind of touches, then you can ask for what you want.
This is a good example of what not to do. So this gentleman, Trevor Crane, I don't know him. We don't have a relationship. He found me and he started selling me. I work with hundreds of professionals, 58 million in sales, yada, 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 yada. How's your calendar look next week? Book something with me. So I would have probably booked with him if he wasn't trying to sell me. Then open to a call, more sales, blah, 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 blah. I actually am getting ready to write another book. I probably should connect with him. Thanks for the offer, not at this time. Okay, so then he comes back with a second profile. Because see, none of that same history is here. He comes back with a second profile. Seems I dropped the ball. What about a quick intro? Like I didn't know you from the previous profile. Don't try that crap. It just is a turn off, right? So no thanks. Bye. Boo. Now, if he messages me again, I'm gonna send my, and by the way, my secret message, my secret weapon to relationships is my Bitmoji. Can y'all see that?
Oh, yeah.
My Bitmoji, which people think Toni, first of all, she looks just like me, but people think she is so, she's so silly. It's so juvenile, right? So if I wanted to, I could put my bye in there and send it to him. I wouldn't do that. But what I do use it for to build relationships is it's fun. So when Jace comes back to me, I'll send him emoji. It says thanks. And then I'll type in thanks for connecting. When they post something, this is the way that this emoji has made me money in social media, Facebook and LinkedIn. I had someone who does a video call, a LinkedIn Live, and I liked what she had to say. By the way, LinkedIn Live is great if you got something good to say. I like what she had to say. I used my emoji to comment. Bing Messenger, Toni, I've been meaning to get with you. I want you to speak on my podcast in front of thousands of financial professionals, because I stood out in the string of comments. So I'm out of time, y'all. I could go on and on about this. I love it. Let me see. I'm checking chat one last time.
I think we're okay there, Toni, other than one person suggested being very careful with third-party apps that he got shut down a couple of weeks, Phyllis, and that is something to be cautious of. Listen, I know everybody on here loves learning. It was fun. I've got several little tidbits that I'm gonna get my 10 recommendations. So thank you for your time. Thanks for putting that out there. Let me talk about tomorrow real quick. Let me slow down a minute. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yes. Tomorrow we have an expert panel, and I really encourage all of you to get on, if not for yourself, for your friends. So we have 4 people. I have an expert in SBA financing and lending, which will be great with all the different options out there. Help you drill down on what's best for you in terms of helping your cash flow during this time. We have a business attorney who's going to talk a little bit about employment and rules and regulations, what you can and can't do, what you can expect. We have a finance guru who's going to talk about the impact of all these things on taxes. And I'm going to moderate this session for an hour at 1 o'clock on www.zoom with NIA. It'll be very valuable. Last week we had over 130 or 40 people on that. We're going to bring a different panel back and have a different little tone with updated information. So hopefully you can join us. Thank y'all very much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you, Toni, for all your expertise. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.